any aha moments or breakthroughs that you have had so far?
Well, I wish I wasn't doing anything else but this. Because I've had a lot of not distractions, but things that I needed to get done today, like a PDP newsletter that had to be out April 1st, just trying to connect with the members and just stuff around the house, just, daily tasks that needed to get done. But then of course, writing stuff out, I could have gone on forever and ever and ever, and then realize, okay, just shut up and just go do the work. So once I actually turned everything off and sat down in front of the computer and started working in Trello, I actually got something accomplished today. So it feels really good.
Good. Anyone else have an aha moment or anything they'd like to share? Angela?
Hi, ladies. Sorry, I was eating dinner. So Monday night, I couldn't get to sleep and I was working late, and I was like, so how am I going to do these follow-ups? So I put in my planner, wherever it is, to do 2 a week, starting next week, hopefully. I mean, that's the goal. Who knows if I'll get there. I have a lot of catching up to do myself. And then I said, well, what's going to be my follow-up day? And like, and what day am I going to do this? And what day am I going to do that? So I have Fridays as follow-up days because that's an alliteration. I have like Wednesdays as my chamber days, Mondays and Fridays on LinkedIn. Tuesdays seem to be busy, crazy meetings. So I left that one open. Thursdays, my thank you notes day or my thank people day type of thing. So I was up late doing that.
Awesome.
That inspired me a little. So thank you.
Good. That's awesome. So today we're going to talk about day one. We talked about your goal and what your big, hairy, scary, audacious goal was, something that scares the bejesus out of you. And you all picked something that literally was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I can do this. This is scary, but I'm going to do it. And we actually have a new gal on the call today. So I'm going to call out Michelle and ask her to introduce herself because I've never met Michelle before. So hi.
Hello. I am from Seattle, and
hi. She's in my neck of the woods. Yay!
Oh, good. Even better. We'll definitely have to connect after all this COVID craziness. But I just randomly found your group. I'm not even sure. I don't remember how I found it. I saw this 5-day challenge, and I'm a budding entrepreneur, and
oh, is she frozen? Is she frozen or is it me? It's her? Okay.
It's her.
supposedly we're supposed to have extra time. What was that?
You
Okay.
froze for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. It's my Zoom. I think there's something wrong with my computer. It doesn't like Zoom. But in any case,
Sure.
I'm actually behind. I wasn't able to do the homework yesterday
That's
or
okay.
Monday, so
That's
I'm here
okay.
to catch up today.
You got time to get caught up. That's okay. So tell us, so you said you're a budding entrepreneur. What kind of business do you have?
I'm a coach, and I have a group called In January, and the title pretty much speaks for itself. It's all about unlearning the rules of society and removing our masks so that that we put on to fit in society, and just relearning who we are inside, and learning to be comfortable with that. And even if that means that we have to let some things go, it means that new opportunities will open up for us. And so it's the group is all about that, and the event was about that, and just trying to figure out what my next steps are and what I want to do next with Be More You.
Awesome. Love that.
Thanks.
Fantastical. Okay, so recap day one, we talked about goals, big, hairy, scary, audacious goals. Yesterday we talked about the barriers and the bullshit that's going to keep us from moving forward. And we talked about ways to crush the fear and identify what those barriers are, but then have a strategy or some sort of tool for when it comes up. Like, how are you going to handle that? How are you going to shift and pivot? Because remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is a liar. Its whole job is to keep you safe and comfortable and not growing, not changing, just staying stale and stagnant. Okay, so today, I don't know if you saw the post, but I posted a picture of a girl standing in front of a bull. And for most people, like, looking a bull dead in the eye would probably spark a little fear, right? You don't know what it's going to do. You don't know if it's going to charge at you. You don't know what's going to happen. And it's the fear of the unknown that can spark that, like, oh shit moment. Oh my God, I'm standing in front of a bull, and is he trying to hurt me? What's going to happen? But what if you looked at it in a different perspective? What if you looked at it as that bull is standing in front of you because everything you want is on the other side of him? What if it's a test? What if he's testing you to see what are you willing to do to get the thing you want? What if he has a message for you and you're so focused on the fact that it's a bull that you can't even pay attention to the message that he's trying to deliver to you? What if the bull is actually really nice, right? But we just can't see it because it's a big giant bull, and all we can think is it's going to gorge me, right? And all I can think about is, did you guys ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond? His brother got gored in the behind by a bull. Oh yeah, it was. I felt bad for the dude. I know he's an actor, but still. But the fear keeps us stuck and we don't move forward in the face of fear. But we have to. Because remember, action is the cure to fear. Doing something is what's necessary in order to move forward and reach your goals. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the strategy. And what does a strategy look like when as we are applying that to your goals? What does the strategy look like? So when you look at your big, hairy, scary, audacious goal, I want you to figure out if this is a new business for you. It doesn't mean that this doesn't apply, because someone somewhere has done what you are trying to do, right? Someone somewhere has done the thing. So what can you learn from their experience? What have they done that you can look at it and use it as an example and make pivots, tweaks, shifts to make it your own? And if you have done something amazing in your business before, where you've had a success before, what was that? See, sometimes we get into this thing where we think that we have to reinvent the wheel every time we're trying to make money. And that's actually not true, right? There's a formula. And so you can look back at your past and say, when was the last time I had a really successful sale or a really successful month? What did I do to bring that into my life? What did I do to bring that energy, to bring that income into my life? Sometimes it's as easy as creating an event, right? I would sit there, and I've mentioned this before, like, oh crap, when I was a photographer, I need photo shoots on the books, and I didn't have any photo shoots on the books for months out. So I need to create a reason for people to want to book a photo shoot. The same for you, creating a reason for people to do business with you. So how can you create a reason for people to do business with you? How can you solve their problems? People are looking for people to solve their problems. That's where you come in. How can you help solve their problems? So when I say what has worked before, it's what have you done before that worked really well, or what has someone else done that worked really well? Okay, now here's a tricky part. This is where things can get a little tricky. If you are looking at what someone else has done, sometimes you don't see what they don't show you. They only show you the amazing, awesome things. You don't see the crap. You don't see the tears. You don't see their books. You don't see their bank account. So there's this, they can put out this really great impression that everything is sparkly unicorns and rainbows, and it could actually be a complete facade. So it's really important that that you're careful, and that's why I want you to take an idea, but tweak it and make it your own. Okay, because just because someone is touting success online doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's true. Okay. So someone could be bragging that they made $1 million. I see it all the time. I made $1 million in my business. And I'm like, really? Huh. I don't know if I believe you. Honestly, because they're trying to sell me something. So of course they're going to tell me that they made all this money because they're trying to sell me something. And so it's just be cautious is all I'm asking you to do, is to be cautious. If you're going to look at someone else's example, be cautious. Okay? So a pivot or shift or a tweak literally can be so simple. This is not about reinventing the wheel. This is saying, oh, that's an interesting idea. What can I do to make it my own? Okay, so for example, I'm going to use Jennifer as an example. So Jennifer does, right? She does escape rooms, and now virtual escape rooms are becoming a thing. So she could take that idea and tweak it to make it her own. Take the idea of going, oh, how did they do this? Okay, that's fascinating. What can I do to implement that into our business, but not make it look exactly like theirs? We're going to put our own spin on it. And so that's what I'm talking about, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So would anyone like to share something that has worked before in your business, or something that you have seen someone else do that you might want to try to replicate? Don't be shy. Angela, what you got?
Okay, this is not technically my business related, but it is Toastmasters. So when I worked in Kingston, so I live in Braintree, Mass, and it's a 25-minute ride to my office in Kingston where I used to work. On my lunch hour, I would go to the library twice a week and work on my Toastmasters speeches. I always had one scheduled, so I always knew when like the next 2 speeches were happening. And that worked out really well because it got me out of the office and I got to work on my Toastmasters speech. And I really feel Toastmasters helps me in all areas of my life. So that it probably could be related, but it's just an example that I know worked for me for like the 6 months that I was doing it.
Okay. And so how could you use Toastmasters to tweak or pivot or shift? Was there someone's speech that really helped you that you were like, ooh, I like how they did that. I'm going to tweak it to make it my own?
I don't think I've done that with anybody's speech, but I would like to do that with some of my prior speeches.
Okay.
Once I finish my Distinguished Toastmaster, which I have one project left. So I've kind of looked back on a couple of the speeches and was going to tweak one of them, but then I went on a totally different path. I pivoted because of COVID-19, and it was perfect because of the whole thing. Because I couldn't do what I originally wanted to do, so it wouldn't make sense with the group I was presenting to. Because I wanted it to be helpful and not like, oh yeah, most of us have heard this already. So I would like to take some of the speeches I've done and tweak them and maybe hone in on 1 or 2 specific things in the speech.
Great.
So that's something I'll probably be working on later this year once I get back into my speeches.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Um,
So, yeah, who here is having to tweak or pivot to do things virtually now? To where, so like Joyce so Joyce and Kari, like for example, they do classes normally in home or something like that, and now they're having to do them online. So how is that, like, can you see someone else's example and replicate it or tweak it to make it fit you and your business? Do either of you want to talk about that?
For us, as we are pivoting, there have been a lot of challenges that come up, and one of those is whose software do we use? What software is going to be reliable? I kind of had to turn to my experts in some of those areas, but at some point, I had to just stop and realize that we were all even knowingly, we were already preparing for this. I already have a virtual puzzle that we set up in a little tiny bit of a different application for people to go through our little tourist town, walk through, find the historical markers, find the stores and things that were outside. We already had an outdoor city puzzle. So I already had the software partially in place. A lot of what we're talking about today for me goes back to my biggest fear, which is that I can't do this myself. And for me, my aha moment all the way through this whole thing that has happened is that I literally for 3-4 years, Mr. Glass Half Full, and I have been at total odds about every decision, and I always get my way. It's always the right thing to do, but I always have to justify it. I always have to argue it out rather than just being able to make a decision, move forward, and do it because it's the right thing. Now I have to, in planning, every minute of planning has been bottled up in how am I going to sell this to my husband, and how am I going to, what is this going to happen? And the biggest fear for me is now this is all going to be my fault if it all falls apart. But I wouldn't have been making any decisions before that I'm not going to be making now. Now I'm just not going to have to fight with him about it. We've totally reorganized, and we've totally pivoted to the fact that this isn't his baby. He loves me, therefore he's willing to do what needs to be done, but his heart isn't in it. He doesn't give a shit for a billion jillion reasons and a whole lot of conversation. But it really took a sit down with myself last night and throughout today out in the yard. I think best while I'm working. I know that's really weird, but some people
absolutely.
are like, when I can just get to work and not have anybody to justify myself to. When I drive, I really focus well and think well when I'm driving, when I'm working, doing things like that. But this time, yes, I'll be on my own. And the last time my lie was that we were successful because Justin was helping me. And the real truth is he's been sabotaging this for a long time. Not on purpose. I love him. Right. Don't take it that way, but not on purpose. I get to pivot and I get to go, whoosh, that's it. Okay, I need COVID to go the fuck away. And then I need to get in my stores and get with my people. I need to figure out what's wrong. I mean, seriously, just magically somebody make it go away and let us all be all right and just move the fuck forward. But right now I just have to sit back and chill and pivot, get ready to pivot and have the plan made. It's good.
Did you have an opportunity to watch the video from Simon Sinek that I posted in the group today?
I didn't.
That is going to be a mind-blowing one for you.
Fun.
So I would highly encourage you to watch it. It's like 5 minutes long, but you're just like, he just always blows my mind. Always blows my mind. So I would highly recommend that for you today. Yeah. Kari?
So one of the things that I've been doing, since I do have to do more things on, behind the camera, so to speak, is I've been actually watching some of the people that I admire how they're doing things and kind of pulling ideas from them. and trying not to say so that I can be more comfortable in front of the camera. I am doing 2 virtual parties tomorrow and Friday, so I am going to check into Zoom tomorrow and add the $40 thing on, so that I'm not trying to deal with both 2 cameras, one for Facebook, one for Zoom, and hopefully that will streamline things, and then I truly can be in front of one camera and be more comfortable. So that's how I've kind of pivoted
So
things.
there could be an alternative. Are you going to Zoom with people, or are you just streaming it?
I'm Zooming because everybody, it's called, I'm calling them cabin fever virtual parties, because people are wanting to see each other and not just watch me on Facebook. This way I get more interaction with people. I don't like just talking to a screen and not, and I don't see the comments, and then I'm like up in this, doing all this. So yes, I wanted to do with the Zoom.
So here's my question for you. So if you're doing it as a party, why do you feel like you have to also stream it on Facebook? And can it just be an exclusive party that you do for the people that sign on?
I'm finding that people are so Facebook mode that they're like, well, where do I register? And what do I do? And blah, blah, blah. And where's my link? And where do I go? And so I had posted the parties in my business page in Facebook and said that the Zoom link, join us on Zoom and so on and so forth. So are you saying get away from Facebook?
I'm saying just do a Zoom virtual party, and those that show up are the ones that get the benefit. Because let's be realistic. The odds of someone watching on Facebook instead of they're going to feel left out, so they're going to want to join the Zoom. So it would be, I just feel that it would be more beneficial to just focus on the Zoom and have fun with the people that are present. And if you want to record it so that you can have it and put it on YouTube and edit it down to show whatever you want to show.
Editing, right? Okay. Yeah.
It's easier than you think it is.
I'm sure.
It is.
I'm sure. Someone just needs to walk me through it.
Okay, I can do that.
So what you're saying is don't even turn on Facebook, just do the Zoom.
Yeah.
And then post it in Zoom or post it in Facebook later. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I think it's 100% okay to celebrate the people that show up. Right? Don't chase people. Don't chase them.
No, I know there are some people who are tech challenged and couldn't download the Zoom app. So
they can,
therefore I was good.
Yeah. So there are ways that they can figure that out, though. Like
So on the Facebook, could you put a tutorial on how to download it? Get an Apple, get an iPad, get all the different kinds of media, the 5 or 6 main, and give them tutorials on how to do that. That way they feel like you gave them an added value too.
Yeah. Just step 1, step 2, step 3, But yeah, I think it would be less stressful for you to just focus on the people that are on the Zoom and not having to worry about monitoring Facebook at the same time and doing all that kind of stuff. Okay? Okay. And the other thing I would like to say is stop being so darn hard on yourself for saying I say all the damn time.
Did I tell you about the drinking game my husband started? When I'm doing
Giving
these
her
live
bad
videos, he's watching me do these videos, and every time I say he's like,
Well,
We used to do that in college, literally. I've heard you speak many times, and I have not noticed an excessive tendency, and I would have noticed.
yeah.
thank you.
So stop being so hard on yourself and just get the damn thing done.
Okay.
Remember, perfect doesn't exist,
Oh, not
right?
here.
Okay, so we've thrown it out the window. It doesn't exist. It's not even an option. Did you have fun? Did they have fun? That's the only thing that should matter. That's it. It should be all about the fun and not trying to be perfect. Take their mind off of the bullshit that's going on in the world and give them a place to come have fun. Right? Because I don't know about you, but I am freaking sick and tired of cooking. Like all the time. Why am I cooking so much? This is
Because
not
you didn't
okay.
prep your meals.
It's enough already. Yeah, so that's my bitch for a moment.
Just prep
Okay.
it all, and then you don't
I
have to
know.
cook it.
But still. Okay, so we're going to talk about, what does every plan need? I believe that every plan needs 9 things. Are you ready? Number 1, your plan needs confidence. You need to have the belief that you can do it, that you can achieve the thing you're trying to achieve. Number 2, you need clarity. You need to know what the hell you're doing and where you're going, what direction you're going. You need a map. You need to know exactly where you're trying to go. Because a goal without a plan is just a dream. You need to have a plan. But so knowing exactly where you're trying to go, what you're trying to accomplish is very important to reaching your goals. Number 3 is you need perspective. And I'm talking about perspective from your consumer, from your customer, from your clients. What do they need and want? It's not about you. It's about them. So are you asking your customers? Are you asking your clients what their needs are? And how can you fill that need? How can you solve that problem for them? I do that, but I love surveys. Elaine loves a good survey. I do. And I'm telling you, people tell me their deepest, darkest secrets in my surveys because they're anonymous. I always make them anonymous. People tell me all the shit, you guys. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Number 4, you need a purpose. Why are you doing what you do? We've talked about this. The world will continue to talk about this as long as Simon Sinek is in the world. Why are you doing what you do? So when you're thinking about your goal specifically, like this is in being very specific to the big, hairy, audacious goal you have set for yourself, you are going to apply this strategy to that one goal. And every other goal that you set, you're going to apply the same strategy. But why are you doing that thing? It's a big, hairy, scary, audacious goal. Why are you doing it? You don't have to. You could say, screw it. I don't need this. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to take my ball and go home. But there's a reason that you have chosen it. It scares the shit out of you and you're going to do it anyways. But what's the purpose? And number 5 is impact. How does what you do help someone else? How is accomplishing this big, hairy, scary goal going to help someone else? Because that's what business owners do. We help other people by offering our products and services. That's what any business does. The grocery store, the hardware store, the nail salon, the hair salon, right? Every single business is out there to solve someone's problem. Not everyone's problem, someone's problem. Except the grocery store. They're kind of there to solve everyone's problem. We all need food. Number 6 is a date. When are you going to begin? Is there an end date? That could be specific to, like, if you're going to have a sale or a promotion. When does it start? When does it end? Is there an introductory rate? When are you going to launch? When are you going to announce? When does it begin? And is there an end date? Number 7 is a story. We're going to talk about branding stories tomorrow, but stories could be a customer story. It could be your story. So thinking about, someone has probably said to you, oh my gosh, you helped me so much, right? And it keeps you moving forward. So thinking about how amazing it is to not wear a damn bra anymore, Deb, like, right? That's what keeps her going, is that women saying, thank God I'm not having to wear a bra anymore. I hate the bra. She's like, cool, I'm going to keep doing it because people like what I'm offering them, right?
Think about all the women that are confined to their houses that aren't wearing bras, and when they eventually have to go to work, they're going to be needing me.
That's right, right? But thinking about your story, why did you choose to get started? So typically what happens, what I've noticed, is that we start a business because we had some sort of result. And so we're like, oh, this was amazing. I want to help other people do the same thing, right? Sometimes we're consumers first, and then we become ambassadors or consultants or whatever you want to call it. And that could either be we're repping someone else's company or we're starting our own company, maybe because we see a glitch in the system, that something isn't the way it should be. And so we're trying to fill that gap somewhere. So Laura could be a really good example for that. There's a million ways to homeschool. And she's like, that's not how I want to do it. I'm going to do it my way. Right? She doesn't want to follow the standard, the mold. She wants to break out of the mold and do it her way. So she has a story that she can tell about her own children's journeys with education. And she uses that to convince other people why she can solve their problem. Does that make sense? Number 8, you need to share. You need to share what you do. You need to tell other people that this is what you do. I know that many of you on here are scared to death to share the world what you do because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you, or you're afraid of that they're going to reject you. You don't even give them an opportunity to reject you because you're too afraid to even do the thing. You have to tell people what you do. And you're not selling them anything. You're just telling them what you do. You never know, right? Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I need to talk to them. They didn't try to sell me anything, but I heard what they said and if something resonates and you're like, ooh, I want to know more about that. It's just piquing curiosity for them to say, ooh, I want to ask her more about that. And number 9, you need an end result. You need a transformation. You need, what are they going to get out of working with you? What transformation, what end result are people going to get from working with you? So you're taking them from here and you're taking them to here. So they're sad and miserable right now, and you're going to get them to happy and full of joy. So what does that journey look like? What does that process look like? What are the steps involved that is required for them to go from sad and miserable to happy and joyful? And that you get to take them through that process. So then, as you take all of that information in, then you know what you have to do is you're going to go, crap, here comes my barriers again. Here comes my excuses. Here comes my fear. Here comes my self-sabotage. Here comes my inner mean girl who's going to try to tell me, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Mine do that on a regular basis.
Of course she does.
My
She's such a
number one-
bitch.
Yeah, my number one fear is that if I fail, my family won't love me.
And
Woo.
we know that's not true. Fear
And
is
that's
a liar.
bullshit.
It's
My
bullshit.
family are not fickle. My kids are not fickle.
Right.
And I don't want to disappoint them, but disappointing them isn't going to mean that their love goes away.
No. And I don't think you could actually disappoint your kids if your business doesn't succeed. Like that is not their love for you does not have conditions. Right?
Right.
Right. The love that we have for our children, for our parents, sometimes our parents, right? Sometimes we don't have very good parents, right? I'm fortunate. I'm very blessed that I have parents that I love. Not everyone has that. But the thing is that they don't have conditions when it comes to loving you.
But you got to be ready to recognize when those creep back in.
Of course.
Or new ones show
gotta-
up because you created
Right.
a new normal.
Right. So literally the pivoting moment for me when I was like, oh shit, this is self-sabotage, was when I heard it and I'm like, where are you coming from? Like this, what? And then I was like, oh my gosh, being able to recognize that it was showing up, boom, light bulb moment for me. And just being able to talk myself through it and realize that, yo, Sally, I don't need you today. We're not playing bubble wrap, right? We're gonna move on, and I'm not going to listen to you today because you're trying to keep me safe, and I appreciate that, but I don't need you right now, right? Because it's trying to keep you safe, unseen. Don't rock the boat. Don't do anything that's scary and unfamiliar because there's all these horrible things that could happen. So what if they do? So what? So what if you put all that time and energy and effort into something and it doesn't work out? So what?
And hey, hasn't it happened before and haven't you survived?
Right. It's not death. It's a lesson. So if you guys know, if you've heard me talk before, I love the story of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Do you know how many prototypes that guy made? Seriously, 5,123 prototypes in 5 years. So had he given up on the first time that it didn't work, I love the Dyson vacuum cleaner. I am a loyal customer. I will always be a loyal customer to the Dyson vacuum cleaner. And knowing that that's how many prototypes this guy made and that he did not give up is some serious resiliency. And I will because I know that story, doesn't that make you want to love them even more? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a story there. When you hear about that struggle and you see how someone overcame that, it makes you want to be a customer. So how can you apply that to your business? How can you take a story of struggle, of resiliency, and flip it into rise? overcoming. People love a good story, a good overcoming like Rocky, right? Getting in the ring, boxing a dude that's way bigger than him. People love to root for the underdog. They love to see people come out on top. Exactly, The Greatest Showman. Oh man, I love that movie. It's a really good example. People don't want to see you fail. They want to see you succeed. And it's a really good example for your kids as well, to show them what an example of resiliency looks like, how learning lessons, how getting knocked down and getting back up again, getting knocked down 9 times and getting up 10. It's not going to be easy, but I can guarantee you, we were not promised easy. No one ever told us that this was going to be easy. We chose this. We chose to be entrepreneurs. So we're choosing the challenges and struggles that come along with that. And it could be, you could easily say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to go get a 9-to-5 job. And that's okay. Right. And y'all like, no, please don't make me do that. Girl, I'm so there with you. Please do not make me go get a 9-to-5. I will
I
stab
actually
myself in the eye.
said, that is not what I said. I said, do not tempt me.
But like, seriously, like we have choices. We have choices. Someone else can be our boss, or we can be our own boss and make the rules. Right?
Can I just, I want to say, I hope I have been a good enough example. Obviously, my daughter is now moving in that entrepreneurial genre, and I know that my son is also working on it too. And it's kind of encouraging and kind of an ego boost when, you know, I've been doing this my whole life. I've been kind of a serial entrepreneur, and to see both of my kids say, I've seen you struggle, I've seen you go through this, and I still want to do this because that looks like a whole lot of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just kind of piggybacking on what you said, keep going, because somebody's watching. Somebody's watching and somebody's picking up what you're laying down.
And you are inspiring someone even if you don't know it. Someone is saying, ooh, look at her. I want to be like her when I grow up. And you're not even going to know it until a couple years down the road, and they're going to remember, and they're going to say, oh man, I remember when da 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 happened and I saw you do this, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't think anybody was paying attention. Oh, they're paying attention, all right. The world is paying attention to your business. The people that are your customers, the people that are your clients are paying attention to how you are shifting and pivoting and how you are going to continue to show up and serve them. It is 100% about them, not about you. Can I get an amen on that one? So, your homework is to fill out the bonus worksheet as it applies to your big, hairy, scary goal. And take that, and I want you to answer all of the questions. Break it down. This is going to become part of your strategy. And most of you that are on the call today have earned the live co-working session on Saturday. Woo woo! So that means I'm going to be sending you prep work, because we're going to be doing a lot of social media stuff, and I want to make sure that you have time. I'm going to send you all the tutorials, everything you need about all of that. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about branding. So, right, your messaging. This is the opportunity to okay, hold on. Let me post it there for you again, Jen. There you go. So prep work, you're not gonna need a whole lot of time. There'll be some graphics. All you're gonna do is literally add your website, things like that on them. But I'm gonna create everything for you. And I'm gonna provide the scripts, and literally we are going to work together on Saturday. You're gonna need 2 devices if you can, one on Zoom and a phone or something like that. Or if your computer can do multiples, mine does all the time, but if you can handle the tech. So there's going to be some Instagram, there's going to be some Facebook, there's going to be some LinkedIn, like Pinterest, whatever your platform preferences are. We are going to put some stuff out into the world so that you can start to get some clients. How does that sound? Who is excited for that? Okay. So, so your homework is to fill out the worksheet, post it in the group, put your answers in the group or on the digital workbook. That's totally fine. So tomorrow we're talking about branding. So Paige Engel is coming to talk about branding, because before we do all of that, we need to figure out what your brand is and what do you want your brand to say, because you have full control over what people think of you. Okay. And then on Friday, we have another guest, someone that is local to me. She is a marketing guru, and we are going to talk about marketing and how it's so much more than just posting on Facebook. Marketing is so much more than that. And so we're going to talk about creating a marketing strategy. And then Saturday, we're going to implement all of those things. Everything we've learned, we're going to implement on Saturday in our co-working session, in our co-working party. Questions, thoughts, aha moments? Deb?
Real quickly, and I know I can go on and on. I did I didn't do it myself, but my upline did a virtual party 2 Saturdays ago, and she was really, really, really good. And I invited people, you know, to it. So I had this one woman who is a J and a K. I got to tell you, I didn't know that there were such sizes. And so anyway, she was very, she placed an order for 1 cami. She got the cami, and she sent me a text 2 days ago and said, I didn't believe anything that you said, that this would help support my breast and not have it tight on my band and my shoulders and everything else. And last night she texted me and she ordered 4 more camis, and it was all done because the person went live on Zoom and just really in a funny way explained all the products. So I know I can do this too.
Of course you can. So Christine asked a question that I want to make sure that I answer is, the goal is the same one that you've had from day one. So this whole thing is all about that one goal. And eventually, as you can, start setting other goals, you can apply this same process to any goals that you create in the future. Okay. And this is basically, you guys, what I do for myself when I am in a place of going, all right, it's time to get some shit done, right? What do I want to do? What is the thing that scares me? What do I want to focus on? How am I going to get there? This is the process that I use. Okay, so that's basically what I'm taking you guys through, is the process that I use. And we're just adding a little fun, making it a little fun. So if you need to get caught up, Michelle, if you need to get caught up, I'm happy to send you any links that you might need to get caught up and watch the videos, do the homework and stuff like that. All you need to do to come to Saturday's co-working party is 3 out of the 5 videos. Okay, and then you can come. Otherwise, it's like prereq. It's like taking an algebra class before you've taken, you know, general math.
You mean
gotta
to just to have watched 3 of them, or to join live 3?
You can watch replays, or join. So if you did today, tomorrow, and Friday, you would be able to come to the co-working party.
Okay, thanks.
So, so just so that you know that. Anybody have any questions? Questions. Happy to answer questions if you need clarification on anything, if you need to talk out something specifically to you, now is the time. We have 3 minutes before we're at an hour. Oh, hello, puppy. Oh my goodness. So cute. Okay, so no questions. All right, so thank you all for showing up today. I appreciate that you guys are continuing to show up to do the work. Mwah. Lots of love to you, virtual hugs as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some exciting stuff about branding your business. All right, see you guys later.